just a few weeks ago. Just picking out a few of these 20 men who are on the start line. Isaac Kimeli, the very good Belgian. Probably his greatest triumph was the 2018 European cross-country silver. He's also taken silvers at the European Indoor Championships last year. That was behind, on both occasions, members of the Ingebrigtsen family. There's Yamani Bahan Kripa, outstanding Italian talent. He's run 13:02, not far from that this year, 13:04. Just wondering what's going through his mind at the moment. How does he take the sting out of Jakob Ingebrigtsen? We've also got Mohamed Katir choosing to run in the 5,000 meters. This is a man who took the bronze over 1,500 meters. Adel Machal, 2016 European silver medalist over this distance, and a whole slew of fourth places at both world and continental level. And then, what more can you say about this man that hasn't already been said? Jakob Ingebrigtsen, still just amazingly 21 years of age. Last year, around 12:48.45. That makes him one of the world all-time best runners. Also got on the start line other people to keep out an eye on. The likes of Elzem Bibic from Serbia. Mohamed, of course, from Germany, and he'll get a big roar. He's improved to 13:21 this year. Oh, being pulled back.
Yeah.
I was going to say Mohamed has improved to 13:21. In fact, he's gone much faster this year. I'm misreading my notes. It's 13:03.18 that he's done. So they pull them back. Andrew Butchart on his day, very fine runner as well. The Briton in there with Sam Atkin.
I doubt they'll give a red card, but it could go to win a race in Switzerland. He was just wobbling on the line.
It'll be a green.
Excellent. Well done, Chris Cohen, getting his camera time today. Earning his sandwich, whatever they give officials. So many volunteers keep our sport running.
Yeah, so we're back on the start line again. Very big field for 12.5 laps of the track. Well, Jakob Ingebrigtsen's European record set in Florence last year, 12:48.45. Championship record held by Jack Buckner of Great Britain, Northern Ireland, dating back to 1986, 13:10.15. You have a feeling that that might just be in danger. Jack Buckner here somewhere in the stadium, the new chief executive of British Athletics. Well, not sure who that is. Should know perhaps. Anyway, it's Yamani Bahan Kripa who's gone straight to the front.
Jump, also the discus, but on the track it's the 5,000 metre final.
So, just a short way into this race. Just over a lap completed, and Ingebrigtsen is working his way to the front, around the outside as well. His compatriot Nordas, the Britons at the front as well. Diva still taking it very steadily at this stage, so it's Nordas who's sprinted to the front. Well, we're back, and it's still Nordas at the front with Ingebrigtsen at the back. Well, Nordas, obviously very much the second string Norwegian, but has won the Norwegian 5,000 metres title on 2 occasions. Very useful runner in his own right. Has improved this year to 13:15. So we're just into the second kilometre now. Michel's up there, as always, looking as though he's making hard work of it, but he's a very fine runner. It's just really an image. Butchart and Diva, the two Britons working together, have just gone in front of Nordas. Hey, this very strong Frenchman who's won a whole number of titles, European titles in the age groups on the cross-country. Finished second at the European 10,000 metres Cup this year. But the pace at the front is being controlled by Andrew Butchart. Patrick Diva, last year's NCAA champion, crashed out in the heat. So disappointing Eugene for Patrick Diva. There's Parsons, one of the 3 Germans in this race. A very, very strong field indeed.
So if Isaac Kameli and Cripper are content to sit in the pack, they feel like this is a respectable pace. They know Jakob Ingebrigtsen ran yesterday in the 1500-metre heat, so he didn't look particularly troubled. And he does hold that European record, so there's maybe almost nothing you can do, but when an athlete's doubling the 2 events in a championship, you certainly don't want it to be a dawdle.
No, it's turning into that a little bit, I fear. 6 laps to go as they just go through the line. Yep. So 2,400 metres.
There's a 68-second lap, 7:07 on the clock. Butchart up there. He's had an interesting season because he was actually 4th at the British Championships, and often you consider you have to be higher than that to make the major championships. But he went out to Eugene and was 9th in his heat. And then the Commonwealth Games, it was quite a small field in which he was 7th. And then Diva, his teammate, really built a reputation for himself, as you said, out in the US. And it's a real chance to see him in major competition internationally.
So as the really big pack, which is still together, nobody off the back just yet. Ingebrigtsen tucked in there, the 2 Spaniards, well, almost working together side by side. They're coming through with 5 laps to go. 3 kilometers undertaken. Unofficially the time 8:15:77, so not particularly quick. Maybe Jack Butner's championship record will stay for another 2 years after all. But it's still being controlled at the front by Andrew Butchart.
I'm so surprised to see the likes of Isaac Kameli, Johan Cripper let this go this slow. Mike Foppin looked like he was ready to push on. The Dutch athlete on the outside, not necessarily known for a lightning quick finish. Paddy Diva's got a good sprint finish on him. We know Michel will as well, as will Katia, and Jakob Ingebrigtsen on his day can kick supremely hard. 8:15 through 3K isn't going to cause any of these men much trouble. We talk about these endurance races. If they go hard, if they go to the form book, you get an expected result. But when you run slow like this, you can throw up some brilliant surprises.
I'm actually surprised that Ingebrigtsen hasn't forced the pace at the front. It's something that he could have done possibly at this stage. I thought he might, with the slow pace over the opening 5 laps, think about pushing it with 2 kilometers. Oh, there's all sorts of drama. It's looking like Hugo Hayes gone down. Well, it's just as you were talking about it, Hannah. There was drama, people getting tangled up. Only one man going down, looks like Hay. Cripper now to the front. Imani Bahan Cripper, 13:04 this year, the 4th fastest man on the 2022 rankings. Mohamed of Germany hasn't shown just yet either.
Get a re-look at this. The field did supremely well for the rest of them to stay on their feet. Hey, just getting clipped from behind, maybe by Michel, but when you've got a massive group like that, it's not really anything you can do. You can't blame anyone or credit anyone, but the rest of the field still on their feet. It's very impressive.
Yes, it looked like he ran up the back of Foppen, and Nordas almost went down as well, but managed to stay on his feet. Ingebrigtsen staying out of trouble. So here they go with 2 laps to go. 3 laps to go. I definitely need my glasses as Ingebrigtsen moves to the front, 1,200 metres. Still Yamani Bahan Cripper at the front, and now he's definitely cranking up the pace. And Ingebrigtsen knows it. He's covering the brakes. Andrew Butchart on the inside. Isaac Kameli, the very good Belgian, up there as well. The 2 Spaniards, Michel and Katir. Katir looking full of running at the moment. We know he's got a good finish. He took a bronze at the World Championships over 1,500 metres. But that pace injection by Cripper and then Ingebrigtsen has strung out the field completely. Now they're covering about 40 metres. But it's Ingebrigtsen forging ahead.
Ingebrigtsen has got to go hard at this point. Katir's covered the move. Expected Michel to get himself involved as well. He's a super kicker, the second Spanish athlete. Jakob Ingebrigtsen led some of that 1500 metres at the World Championships, but not quite fast enough, and he was found wanting in the closing stages over the sprint. He won the 5000 metres, so of course he knows what he's doing. But Jakob Ingebrigtsen has not shaken off any of the other pre-race favourites. He's piling the pressure down on the penultimate lap, coming down the back straight. When they hit the halfway point, that will be just 600 metres to go. It is going to be an eyeballs out sprint at the end of this men's 5,000 metres.
Well, we were talking about it during the 1500 metres heats. We're talking about Ingebrigtsen and what happened to him in the 1500 metres final in Eugene. Maybe these runners now believe that Ingebrigtsen can be beaten. It's possibly something they haven't thought for a few years. Katir blowing his cheeks out as they come up. Less than 500 metres to go. They're going to hear the bell very shortly. So now that injection of pace over the course of the last 600 metres has left Ingebrigtsen at the front. 12:26 unofficially at the bell, and he's strung out the field. But he hasn't shaken off Mohamed Katir. He hasn't shaken off Yamani Bahan Kripa. Kimeli going backwards, Almgren coming through. He's trying to close the gap on the leading trio. But as it is at the moment, it looks as though the medals are going to be decided between Ingebrigtsen, Mohamed Katir and Yamani Bahan Kripa. Ingebrigtsen, well, he hasn't really cranked up the pace. You'd think he's just about to go for home. Katir's battling with him. Kripa's off the back. Kripa's going to be having to battle for the bronze with Almgren. But it's now a battle for the gold between Ingebrigtsen and Katir. Just look at the way Katir's gritting his teeth. Ingebrigtsen, though, just changes gears so smoothly. He's just pulling ahead of Katir. He's on his way to his third European Championships gold. Ingebrigtsen defends his title. The time doesn't really matter. Just for the record, it's 13:21:13. But Jakob Ingebrigtsen, once again, is the European 5,000 metres champion.
Jakob Ingebrigtsen had me super worried at the bell. He had a grimace on his face. I thought, is this going to be a replay of the 1500 metres at Eugene? But it wasn't. He'd saved a little bit for the final stages. 2:23 final kilometre. It's lightning quick. Katir, been given some stiff words there from Hugo Hay of France. He clearly thinks Katir was responsible for his fall. Bit of emotion pouring out there for the Frenchman. A season's best for Katir. We haven't seen him much over 5,000 metres. And he saw what that bronze medal meant for Kripa of Italy. He punched the air so often, picking up medals at the age group stage and starting to collect them at a senior level as well. Jakob Ingebrigtsen's collection has got to be pretty full already.
Indeed it is. I'm not sure there's going to be much more space in the cupboard for another gold medal, but he's still got the 1500 metres to come. So Ingebrigtsen, 13:21:13. Mohamed Katir of Spain gets the silver, and it's Yamani Bahan Kripa of Italy, despite tiring up and really struggling over the final 200 metres. Almgren of Sweden nearly got him, but it was the Italian who came home for the bronze in the end, as we just look at the recap of the closing stages of that race.
Katir, for me, made a number of attempts to get past Jakob Ingebrigtsen, and I didn't know if he was hesitating or I was going to say, is Katir sort of scared to go past the Olympic champion? But perhaps it was the opposite. Jakob Ingebrigtsen almost neutralising and absorbing every move that Katir tried to make, and that's physically and mentally really hard work. Jakob Ingebrigtsen getting cheered on very passionately from the sidelines. I'm sure he had everybody a tiny bit worried at that 200-metre stage, and Spain's Katir pulled up alongside him. But in the end, he does retain his 5,000-metre title, and that's one half of the double that he's come to Munich to complete.
Yes, an outstanding performance. Katir looking very happy with his silver medal as well. I don't think he thinks he lost that race. He won a silver. Ingebrigtsen, though, peerless over 5,000 metres and almost peerless over 1,500 metres. He's got another titanic battle coming up in the next couple of days in that shorter race. But for the moment, he can bask in the glory of being Norway's first European champion here at the 2022 European Athletics.